Welcome back, everyone, to Global War 1914, Operation Albatross. This is the summer of 1916 for the United States, and let's go through our purchases. We're going to complete construction of a dreadnought for $4. For $4, we're going to purchase a Marine. That's our special unit that we get, our elite unit. We're going to upgrade a militia to an infantry for $2. We're going to lend-lease to the Russians a cavalry for $4, and then for $3 lend-lease an infantry to the Republic of China. We can do this now because we've hit IPP level 20. I think we hit it the turn before last. Yeah, because last turn we rolled a 1, and that put us at 21 IPP level. So, all right, for technology, we have 5 tech rolls. And we're going to go for the same tech that we did last time. Counter battery fire, defense in depth, wartime economy, improved construction, and improved logistics. All right. Here is counter battery fire. Need a 6 or higher. That's a miss. Defense in depth. Need a 7 or higher. That's a hit, so we move up to stage 2. Wartime economy, need a 7 or higher. That's a big time miss. Improved construction, need a 7 or higher. That's a miss. And improved logistics, we need a 7 or higher. And that's a hit. All right, so improved logistics will go to stage 2. All right, so not as good as we rolled last turn. We hit on 3 techs last turn. This turn only hit on 2. Okay, for combat, we are going to take the Brazilian ships that are out at sea there off Buenos Aires, and we're going to force the port and see if we can't sink that German dreadnought. And was that a cruiser? No, it's a pre-dread. So both of his ships will be at a 7. He also gets 3 first strikes at a 3 for the port defenses. We have a torpedo boat destroyer at a 4. We have a pre-dreadnought at a 7, and then we've got a dreadnought at an 8. Okay. First up is his first strikes. Oh, he does get a hit. Dang it. All right, well, we'll assess the damage to the dreadnought. And he will be at a 7. I guess that takes effect immediately. This is where I get so confused, because it's like, do first strikes get... Yeah, I guess it does get... Because first strikes on like trench lines, they don't go into effect immediately. Like if you destroy a trench line on the first round of combat, those defending units, infantry, still defend at a 6. They don't go down to a 4 until the second round, as far as I understand it. And so, would that also apply to a dreadnought? Does the dreadnought still would I still get to attack at an 8, and then I wouldn't go down to a 7 until the second round of combat? I mean, I think that's the way that we should play to be consistent with the other rules in the game. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. So, I don't know. It's so confusing, and the rules aren't really like I mean, as far as I can tell in the rule book, it's not clear. It just isn't. So, I honestly don't know how to carry all that out. So we're just gonna. We will assess even though the dreadnought is damaged, It just doesn't make sense. Like, the dreadnought is damaged, and so he should be at a 7. Um, well, because first strikes, like, I mean, units are removed and they're not allowed to defend. So, it's kind of like the same thing with, first strikes, like the defender gets first strikes, and let's say the attacker has a pairing artillery with an infantry. Well, if the attacker chooses to lose an artillery, then does that infantry that's paired with it remain paired? Do they still get to roll on their attack roll at a 3? Or do they have to roll at a 2? Or does that not get applied until the second round of combat? See, this is something that I'm up in the air about. I don't know. So, because, I mean, I've been playing with, now in the 36 game, I actually have been playing where if the defender first strike hits and the attacker chooses to lose an artillery, then that unit's no longer paired, and that takes into effect immediately. That's the way that I have been playing in the 36 game. And it's the same thing with like a damaged dreadnought, like what the situation that we have here. So I would move the dreadnought immediately down to a 7 on his attack here in the first round. And the rule book in the 36 game isn't really clear on that either. So I don't really know. Logic would say that the dreadnought should go down to a 7, and he would be attacking at a 7 because he's damaged during the first strike period. Which would also mean, logic would tell you that if you choose to lose an artillery as the attacker in a defender's first strike, that the unit that it's paired with would no longer be paired. Unless if you have it wouldn't be paired. So that infantry would immediately go down to a 2 and then attack at a 2, assuming there's no terrain penalties. It would attack at a 2 on the attacker's roll there in the first round. So I think with trench lines, though, I don't know, maybe with trench lines it's different. It's all very confusing, though, because I don't know, I want to keep it like consistent within like the framework of how the combat works. So like if a unit starts at a certain attack value, it stays at that attack value for that round. And then after the round, if there's a second round of combat, then it would move down to, whatever value that it's at that point. So like if a unit starts paired with an artillery, it will attack at a 3 no matter what happens to that artillery. So that would be consistent within, what is assumed by reading the rules. So I think the dreadnought, we're still going to attack at an 8, and then he will move down to a 7 in the next round. Okay. So we have a torpedo boat destroyer at a 4. That's a hit, and hopefully it won't matter. We have a pre-dread at a 7, and either way that's going to be a hit, a 1, a 4, or a 5, so yeah, it doesn't matter what the dreadnought does. And he, in retaliation, has 2 at a 7. And wow, he misses on both of them. Okay. So, we take out the German fleet, and that will remove the German free diplomacy roll. No longer valid. I know the developers have talked about, rewriting the rule book, which definitely is needed. I mean, I think there needs to be more clarity. Definitely with a game as complicated as this, I know it's really difficult to, make everything clear in the rule book and lay it all out. But it definitely needs the rule book definitely needs some revisions and some clarity, in certain situations. Okay. So Brazil sinks the German fleet, and they will go back out into A49. All right, and there's still a blockade there in Buenos Aires. Okay. I don't think we have any non-combat moves to do. I do think now that the German fleet is taken care of, we're going to move our fleet up 1 to A47. We don't have a major port that we could use to move 2 with our pre-dreads, so we can only move 1 with those guys. Okay. Now let's place some units. Of course, we got to deliver our cash and carry that's here in Washington, D.C. for the British, the French, and the Russians. All right, for the French, an artillery will go into Normandy, the British artillery into the British Midlands, and then the Russians artillery into Kola. All right, and then we will deliver while we're at it, we'll deliver our Russian cavalry to Kola as well. Our dreadnought gets produced in Washington, D.C., and will join the main fleet there in A30. A militia will get upgraded to an infantry in Washington, D.C. That will give us 3 infantry there. Along with a Marine. And then we place down a new Marine in Washington, D.C., bringing the total up to 2. And then we will deliver our Lend-Lease to the Republic of China. And we will deliver him to, Nanking, giving him 3 infantry there. Okay, let's collect some income. We forgot to do our peacetime income increase. Oh boy, can't forget that. All right, and it's another 1. Oh my goodness. All right, so we move up from 21 to 22. Oh man, we're never going to get to declare war, or we're never going to get to join war at this rate. Okay, so we collect 22, and do we get any trade? No, we do not. Oh, I forgot to do my diplomacy rolls. I spent $2 on diplomacy rolls. I forgot to mention that. We're going to go for Cuba and Peru. So here's Peru at a 3 or less. That's a miss. And then Cuba at a 3 or less. And that's a miss. So We continue to miss on our diplomacy rolls. Maybe that's why I keep forgetting to do them, because it's like, well, what does it matter? We miss anyway. Okay, so that will do it for the U.S. We will collect $22 and have 22 in the bank for next turn, and that will do it. And next up will be the Republic of China. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, take it easy. Bye for now.